Good afternoon, Facebook friends. Carl Bachtel here, doing a Facebook Live about the story I'm working on today. Talking about algae blooms. Today, in about an hour, the folks at OSU Sea Grant are holding a live webinar to discuss Lake Erie's 2017 algae forecast. And from what I understand, it's not a good one. It's possibly the second highest level of harmful algae bloom in Lake Erie since they started recording it. So I am out here. I don't know if people knew this or not, but algae blooms happen inland as well. And I'm out here at Wingfoot Lake in Portage County in Suffield, and I visit this lake quite often and do some fishing and birding and bring my dog to the dog park out here, all sorts of fun stuff like that. But this is a hotbed of algae in the summertime, and lately we've had two things that algae need to really take off, and that is hot weather and lots of rain. And lots more rain is coming later today and tonight, possibly tomorrow. So lots of runoff means all those nutrients get in the water, algae forms in the heat, and it's not good for people. Here, let me show you this. Out here at Wingfoot, they actually have telling you about the algae and what to do. So there you go. Be alert. If you see water that looks like this, that's all green and nasty and you can't see through it, that means an algae bloom is present. There's a phone number you can call also. Do not swallow the lake water. And back here, most of all, do not let your pets swim in water that has algae in it. The algae, the type of algae it is toxic. It's called microcystin, and it produces cyanide. If your dog swallows that water or takes a nice big drink as he's wading in Lake Erie where there's an algae bloom, or any inland lake where there's an algae bloom, he could die. Shuts down their livers, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's very sad. I've covered a few stories where people have lost their dogs because they're playing fetch in Lake Erie and their dogs go out, they get a nice drink of water on a hot day, it's full of the algae, and the dog goes into liver failure. So I'll put that sign behind me there. Out here at Wingfoot, it's beautiful today. I'm not seeing any of the green cloudy water that I've seen in years past with algae blooms out here. My fellow photojournalist Craig Roberson talked to some folks yesterday about the Ohio and Erie Canal, and he sent me some pictures and things like that. I'm going to work their comments into the story. But lots of here's Natalie Suzanne Boyd asks, what is up with the Lake Erie water? That's what they're going to tell us at 2 o'clock. As far as the algae blooms go, Lake Erie itself, it's very large, a very complicated body of water. Parts are healthy, parts are not healthy, and there are low oxygen levels. A lot of it has to do with the algae blooms. The algae dies, and when it's breaking down, it eats up all the oxygen, taking it away from fish and other things that live in the water. But some things that live in the water love low oxygen, and like midges. I did a story a few weeks ago on the midges and the low oxygen levels and how that benefits them. That's why there's so many big midge hatches around. Mayflies, they love high oxygenated water. So they're the one of the things that's hurt by low oxygen, but we still have mayflies because there's places in Lake Erie that have really good oxygen concentrations. So it's a big place, and you can't put one thing on it or not. But it's very nice out here today. I'll give you another look at the lake here. Nice southerly breeze, but those clouds are all filled with water, and they're going to cut loose here in the not too distant future. But I am gonna, as my arms cramp up, I'm gonna go take a look at the webinar that the folks at OSU Stone Lab, Dr. Chris Winslow, and the researchers out there in the nation's oldest freshwater research laboratory that's out by Put-in Bay. and I've been out there several times. It's a great place. I've even done some studies out there about algae and the critters that live in the lake and all sorts of stuff. So gonna have a good time doing that. I have some video I'm gonna post and show you what I did, and we're gonna talk about algae tonight in the forecast. So a couple things you could do. You can play a part in this. You can Ugh, oh, I got a message. I have portrait lock on, so I'm sideways. I apologize. My fat fingers hit buttons they sometimes shouldn't hit. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here now and go fix that and get started putting this story together, because I gotta go record this webinar. But I will talk to you guys later. One of these days I'll get it right. So what can you do? Live stuff is live stuff. But all right, I will talk at you guys later. Oh, you can control your runoff. Do not over fertilize your lawns. That's a big thing. And if you have a septic tank around an inland lake and it leaks, get it fixed, because that's what contributes inland a lot, is septic tank leakage. Not fun to talk about, but there you go. I will talk to you.